Hi everybody, welcome to this full 18-hole weekend round playthrough for the London Christmas Tournament Expert Division here on the channel. I would love a thumb up from you all if possible, and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Replays and adjustments for all holes, advised always to get familiar with these setups. Take a token or two as well if you want to get dialed it in. Got plenty of drops here though to help make your weekend nice and straightforward, considering it is of course Christmas. Timestamps in the video down below. Sending best wishes to all my American viewers dealing with very, very cold conditions over there. Hope you have a very safe Christmas, and to all those celebrating Christmas and New Year, best wishes for you and your loved ones. Here we go with hole number one. Hole number one, we're going to set up with the quarterback and a power 3 ball. Red ring, half of it inside the rough at P3 max. Then you switch to your APOC, or really whatever driver gives you the most topspin. In the video, you can see I use 5.8 topspin and a 1.5 side spin to the left. If you have more topspin, use it, because it will get you closer to the green. Push your rings to adjust. Max plus 5, power 3. Now, in the video, I switch to a luminary. It gives me a slower needle. You don't have to do that. You can play it with a Kingmaker, but a higher power ball will increase your chances of hitting perfect. Full overpower, slow needle, half wall curl to the left. Perfect ball away here will bounce very nicely in this awkward wind angle and go towards the green. It will leave you an Endbringer School wedge. You play that the usual method. Use the power ball setting of the ball that you're using to get your eagle. Hole 2. Nice tailwind angle here, and we're going to use the Grizzly. We're using 3 backspin and 3 right spin with a Kingmaker, and we're going to look at the plus yards and also the tip of the ball guide. With the Grizzly level 9, once I've found my position, you'll see I'm at plus 2, and the tip of the ball guide is in the middle of the light green square row there. So just pause the video, have a look at those references with the spin added, plus 2 with Grizzly 9, plus 5 with Grizzly 7 and 8. The adjustment here, pending any wind angle tweaks, of course, is max plus 20, power 3 settings. We're going to use Grizzly 9 numbers, regardless of your club level, and you're going to make 2 pulls over the bullseye. So make sure you replicate that as best you can, as it will increase your drop rate. Try and keep the wind below 8 if you can. In Expert, these par 3s have not been tested in winds higher than 8, but you might need to make a tweak. Perfect ball away, and we drop that nicely for a hole in one. Hole 3, we are going to set up with the quarterback, and we're at P3 max, and you can see there the white ring touching the rough. There's a small gap between the right edge of the white ring and the rough. Then we switch into APOC. 5.8 top spin, no side spin, Kingmaker ball here, and we're going to adjust max plus 10. The reason I set up with the quarterback is because we're going to adjust into headwind. So max plus 10 on this one, 7.8 wind for me. That is going to equal 6.1. No push-up required regardless of your club level. You're just going to take your shot, and it's going to be full overpower with a slower needle. No curl, just focus on hitting perfect. Again, if you have a higher power ball that gives you the same attributes that you need in terms of wind resistance, then you can go with that as well. This is a safe eagle play due to the wind angle. We're getting it down the fairway, 370 yards. Second shot is just to get it to green. We're going to use the sniper, and we're playing with 3 right spin, and it's going to be between 5 and 6 bars of backspin. It might vary depending on your position, so just tweak that accordingly. And you want your white ring offset from the edge of the bunker. Try not to have the ball guide disappearing there. If you're worried about hitting a great right, then obviously set up further to the left and apply more curl. We're playing max plus 0, regardless of club distance. As I said, this is just a get it to green shot here. I'm actually playing with full right curl here, and you can see there, just finding the point where the circle drops. I've never hit the tree on the left in testing, so this should be pretty safe. But obviously there's other routes to investigate if you don't fancy this setup, but we're putting very nicely for the eagle. Hole 4, no movement target once again, so all you need to do is add your side spin. Here I use half a bar of right spin. You might need to tweak it a bit depending on wind strength or wind angle, or you could offset and tweak with clicks of curl instead if you want to take a token or two and dial in. The adjustment is mid plus 15 power 3 settings using sniper 10 numbers regardless of your club level. You can play this one with as low as a sniper 7, even lower than that probably, but you don't need any huge amount of backspin, so we're dropping that for the hole in one. Now, a reminder, all of the content here is produced totally for free, and it is my intention to keep doing that. If you want to give me a small donation, doesn't matter how small it is, to say thank you for the free content here, you can do so by using the PayPal link in the description down below, joining as a channel member, or finally using the thanks button on the video. All donations greatly received, and I look forward to continuing to provide free content for you all next year. Hole number 5, we're going to play with the Apocalypse and a Kingmaker once again. Start at the top of plus 2 yards with APOC 5 plus, top of plus 8 with APOC 4, and then we're adding spin, going with 5.8 top spin, 3 right spin, ring references there. You can see on the screen for APOC 5 and 6. You'll have different ring placements though with different club levels. Push your rings to adjust, otherwise the trees are going to be in the way, and we're going max plus 10. If you're using APOC 4, you may well go into overpower. If that is the case, make sure you add that on to your shot. The alternative is you play with a higher power ball, of course. So we've made our max plus 10 adjustment. We're finding the point just before the circle drops. We go to the first point it actually drops. It's that very first segment there. Right curl, look at the edge of the ball for your reference. And the reason I go with that click of overpower is just to get a bit more distance on the shot. Drive distance 372. You're going to write that down because you'll need it for your approach. Before spin, find the sticky spot there, moving your target left and right where the rest of the ball guide doesn't really move after the second bounce. Then we add spin. Your spin will vary depending on your drive, but you can see what I'm using here as an example. I've got 1 bar of backspin on, and the ball guide there you can see is just beyond the cup and 1 green square to the right. Both of those offsets to account for the wind angle. For a drive of 373, so that was a different yardage to the one in the example, playing 60% slider, 15% elevation. So 60% on the slider, 15% elevation, sniper 10 numbers always. Not adjusting anywhere near overpower here, so even if your drive is a bit shorter, you're still going to have a chance at dropping this one. Perfect ball away, bounces first in the tree shadow, second before the green, and we're just having a lip out here. The adjustment on the notepad is a tweak based on the miss in the video. Hole 6, we have crosswind. Add spin first, 5.8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left, and I'm looking at the second bounce just beyond the rough there at the top of plus 10 with APOC level 5 plus, P3 max with APOC 4. You can also look at the ring reference with APOC 5 and 6, the clear ring touching the edge of the bunker. Max plus 10, power 3 for me, that is going to be 6.1 rings. We increase in plus yards, so with APOC 4 you might need a bit of overpower here. With APOC 5, I'm playing just at the point where the circle breaks, so it's equivalent to about 1 ring. But just look at the power circle dropping there as your reference. Like I said, if you were just into any overpower, add that on with APOC 4. As you can see, there's plenty of room here, so even if you go with a little bit more overpower, you're not going to risk the rough. Second shot is just get it to green for the birdie. This is a very tough par 4. We're going to add spin. It's going to be between half a bar and 1 bar of backspin, always 3 left spin, setting up with the red ring touching the rough at max distance with a power 3 ball with either the big dog or the Cataclysm, whichever one is your preferred club. You could actually play this with a high level Guardian, as you've got the distance there as well if you want more accuracy. Max plus 0, not adjusting into any overpower at all here, and we're going with 0.8 ball curl to the left. Like I said, this is just to get it to green shot. If you want to pursue the Eagle, then that's going to be an aggressive rough bump, probably with a Luminary, pushing the drive a bit further and then playing directly in the rough and rolling out. It's up to you whether you want to take a token or two for that one. But here we're putting for our birdie on this tough par 4. Hole 7, start with a basic ball. Add 5 bars of backspin with the sniper and then find the position with the blue ring touching the rough. And you'll see there is a mini funnel here, and the ball guide won't move around much towards the pin there, pointing it at the hole. Then you're going to switch to your Kingmaker or your Kingslayer, 5 backspin, and then you're going to add 0.8 bars side spin to the left. You might need to tweak this depending on wind angle or wind strength, but it's something for you to work with. Mid plus 20, power 2 settings in your apps, and again we're going to go with Sniper 10 numbers. Sniper 10 numbers. Making our adjustment here, and then we're going to hit perfect, and you want to try and catch that little slope down to the pin. There's a very nice little funnel route into the hole, perfect ball away, bounces away from the rough, second bounce just at the end of the fringe, and right at pin for the hole in one. Hole number 8 is a nasty wind angle. If you want a good chance at the Eagle, you're going to have to go with a Luminary here. 5.8 top spin, 2 left spin, and we're setting up a P5 max with APOC 5 and above, yellow ring touching the rough on the left. This will need to be tweaked for APOC 4, unfortunately, because you will lack 7 yards of distance. Max plus 10, P5, we adjust into overpower. I'm going to add overpower onto that, and you see I'm going with a ball and a half of curl, and in the end, it's approximately 3.5 to 4 rings of OP. Always take a token or two with these aggressive shots. Try and tweak and get a feel for how much overpower you'll need with the wind angle and strength that you're dealing with. Perfect ball away, you want the second bounce in the rough and then rolling out to get a clear shot to the green. If the trees are in the way, if you've hit a great right, it's up to you whether you want to risk the thorn. If not, just play safely to the green. Don't risk your birdie. But if you want to go with the thorn, you're going to add some some right spin, as you could see there. You might need to tweak the spins depending on your position, but find the min line, add the spins that I've used in the video, and count up your rings from min. And you want the tip of the ball guide there to be to the hole. You can see, just zoom in and adjust if necessary. So ball guide to the pin with your spin added. This is a tweak on the notepad because I just dropped this on one side of the hole. So you need to play rings from min, 25% elevation, power 5 numbers, pull over the bullseye. In the video, I used a slightly less elevation, if I remember correctly. I think I played it 20, but 25% is going to give you an extra 0.1. And you'll see here that would mean rather than dropping it on the right side, you'd be dropping it right at pin. 1% slider per ring from min. Finally, hole number 9 for the front 9, going with the Kingmaker, 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. And once again, setting up at the top of plus 10, with spins added, the ball guide second bounce will just be away from the rough up ahead. That will be P3 max with APOC 4. Then we are going to make our adjustment, max plus 10, power 3. For me, that will be 6.1 rings. No need to worry about ring references here because we're using the second bounce once you've added spin to find your position. Making our adjustment, then all we need to do is take our shot. We're going to play with some left curl. We're going to find the point the circle drops and go just before that. 1 ball of curl to the left and hit perfect. The drive is not threatening the rough. Minor greats will be fine here. And we get a nice roll out, and you're looking somewhere in around the region of 375 yards. Second shot, put power 4 settings in on your app. Add spin. 4 back spin, 1 right spin. And then here you find your position with the ball guide pointing at the hole, but you want it to be stopping a little bit short because there is a hint of tailwind in this angle of approach. So ball guide pointing at the hole a little bit short as shown. Then we're using our landing position plus yards. +1 with Sniper 10 will be +3 with Sniper 9. and you're going to play 72% slider, 15% elevation, sniper 10 numbers, and like I said, power 4 settings. I tried it with P3, missed, needed an extra 0.2, so that's why I'm using power 4 settings. Perfect ball away here, and then this one is going to bounce very nicely. Second bounce on the fringe, and we drop it for the albatross. Hole number 10, going with the Titan and the Apocalypse. We're going to add spin first, going with 5.8 top spin, but then I reduce down to 5.5 because I'm using a Titan. If you're using a Kingmaker, I'd probably go with 5.8, but as we get more tailwind push with the Titan, I just dial this back to 5.5. 2 bars of left spin regardless of the ball you're using, setting up at top of plus 10 with APOC 5, red ring touching the rough. That will be P3 max. If you've got APOC 4 and the equivalent ring reference, you'd have approximately 20% of the red ring inside the rough on the right. Adjust max plus 10. No need for any push-up here. The tailwind is going to do the rest of the work for us. Of course, this is a must eagle. There is a chance you could do some dialing in on this one and some tweaks to try and get the hole in one. We get a very easy eagle putt though here to start on hole number 10. Hole 11, playing with the Grizzly and a Kingmaker, adding spin first, 1 back spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, so we need a Kingmaker, and you want to have a look at the ball guide just at the point before you get that long ball guide glitching. Second bounce you can see just before the edge of the fringe, ball guide, the tip of it pointing at the right edge of the light green square column. We've got no plus yards or ring references to use here. Just find the position with the Grizzly, then we switch to Goliath. Now, why do I do that? Because you will adjust otherwise to max distance of your Grizzly. So that's why I'm doing a club switch, getting the ball guide set up there with the Grizzly for the long ball guide, then we're going to swap out to the Goliath. So make sure you've got your bags set up accordingly. Max plus 40. Power 3 settings is the adjustment here. Because of the wind angle, it would, of course, take us into max with the Grizzly. So that's the reasoning there. You could, of course, if you've got a good level B52, play with that. But if not, it's going to be the club switch for you. Hole 12 here, we're using 5.9 top spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. APOC 5, top of plus 10, clear ring touching the rough on the right. That will be P3 max with Apocalypse level 4. Once we've done that, of course, we're adding spin first. We're going to adjust max plus 10, power 3. So max plus 10, power 3, top spin and left spin, as you could see very quickly at the beginning of the shot video. Then I'm pushing up a total of 4 yards, just to get a bit more distance here because the adjustment takes us down into the bunker. Ball just touching the bottom teeth of the adjustment ring here, just to make sure I'm getting the right distance that I need on the drive. Max plus 10, like I said, was the adjustment, and it rolls out into that lighter coloured fairway strip. Drive distance of around 390 to 395 yards. Second shot, need to add spin first. 3 back spin, and we're using a 1 bar of right spin and finding the minimum distance line and then pushing up until you get the ball guide as shown. You can see here, we don't want the ball guide short. You want it 1 green square through the hole because of the nasty headwind angle. Rings from min, 10% elevation. On average, it's 2.5% per ring from min. So if you push up 2 rings, I'll be playing it 5% slider. You can get ring charts on the Golf Clash Rings Bible. We've got a tutorial on that, and there will be some availability for those on our Facebook group as well. So check out the resources amongst the community. 10% elevation, power 3. Don't worry about the red colliding ball guide, because in my experience, the wind always takes that into effect. You won't be risking the tree, not with the perfect at least. And we're dropping this one, just sneaking it in for the albatross here on 12. Hole 13, a no move target. Add your spin 2 left spin is what we're going to go with here, because we need to offset this wind angle, which is going to push us left to right. So don't move the target at all. Try and keep the wind below 8 if you can, and just add your 2 bars of left spin, and then adjust max plus 20, power 3. Once again, you might need a couple of wind angle tweaks here, depending what wind angle you get. There's always a slight variation when you in tournament play. So just check your wind angle compared to what I've got in the video. Take a token or two if you want to get some tweaks in. But max plus 20 here is finding the funnel very, very nicely indeed. Just catching that little track there. And here you can see it drops right at the pin for the hole in one. On to hole 14 now. We're going to play over on the right-hand side once again with a Kingmaker. 3 bars of right spin. And here in the video you can see it's not quite max top spin with APOC 5. I'm going with about 5.5 top spin instead. Blue ring touching the rough on the right with APOC 5 and 6. Topper plus 10 yards. P3 max with APOC 4. Once again, try and simplify these setups for you so that they are consistent between rounds, but also so you've got references and you can play with APOC 4 for those who may not have APOC 5 plus. Max plus 10, power 3, and here we're going with a 1.5 of curl just before the circle drops in overpower to make sure that you're applying the same amount of power to your shot. Perfect ball away here, and we're going to need to write down our drive yardage because we're going to use that for our second shot adjustment. So make sure you write down the drive distance. It's going to be in the region of 375 yards. For a 375-yard drive, so a different one than the video I've just shown, we're going to play 37% slider. Find that sticky spot first before spin, where the ball guide doesn't move from the second bounce onwards. And then once you've found that, you can see I'm taking a while to locate that. You're going to add spin. And because of the tailwind angle, you want to leave the ball guide deliberately short of the pin. You can see I'm giving you a zoom in here and then tweaking the spin accordingly, and you'll see there it's about 2 or 3 green squares short, pointing at the right edge of the cup. 375-yard drive, I'm playing 37% slider, and we're going to go 5% elevation on this one. Sniper 10 numbers, what I'm using for all of my adjustments here, and if you've got Sniper 9, you should also go with Sniper 10 numbers, particularly on the par 3s. Making our adjustment and going to hit perfect. Bounces nicely. Second bounce just before the fringe, and we sneak in this one in here for a nice drop on hole 14. Aggressive option here on hole number 15 for those that fancy. You're going to play with a Berserker and a P5 max rest with APOC 5 plus, bullseye over the bunker. Then we're adding 5.8 top spin and 2 left spin. The adjustment is going to be max plus 10. This may not be for everybody, so have a look at it, see if you want to take it on or not. If not, then obviously there is the same approach as we've been doing before, bouncing over and then playing with Sniper for the safe birdie. So max plus 10, then we are going to push up back to max, unfortunately. So it is going to be a full needle. APOC 4, this is not going to be possible. I'm afraid you might need to investigate a top spin boost ball. Full overpower, minor greats have been fine for me. This is a minor great right. Like I said, it is going to be a full speed needle though with a Berserker. You want second bounce in the rough and then roll out to approximately 465 yards. Second shot, make a fringe check with the Grizzly. Plus 9 for me here with the Grizzly level 9, where the fringe meets the fairway, is going to be plus 12 with the Grizzly 7 and 8. So just have that in mind. But we're going to play Grizzly 9 numbers, adding backspin as shown, ball guide approximately 3 green squares short of the pin. Now I aim slightly to the side of the pin here. You can see it's pointing to the right edge. We need to just tweak that based on the miss here in the video, but I wanted to show you this aggressive option because this is a tough par 4 and we want to try and have a go for it if we can. Plus 9 fringe check with Grizzly 9, play it 70% slider, 15% elevation, that is of course power 5 numbers, and finally 2 pulls over the bullseye. You will need to put a tweak in here depending on the miss. in the video. So it's all about the aim point and also trying to pull as accurately as you can. Obviously, we need to go with the Berserker for the low wind resistance, but that does make the adjustment a little bit tricky on the second shot. So it's up to you. If you don't want to play for it, then by all means use a Kingmaker, bounce over with top spin and left spin on the drive, and then play safely to green with the Sniper, a little bit of backspin with left spin and curl, as we've done so before. But just aiming a little bit more at pin, and we'd have dropped that for the eagle. Hole 16, start by adding a spin with a basic ball. 5 backspin so we don't get any unwanted side to find our aim point. And we're going to set up here with the blue ring touching the rough, top left of the blue ring touching the rough, with the ball guide pointing at the pin. Then once we've found that position, there is a zoom in, we're going to switch to Kingmaker or Kingslayer, keep the wind below 8, and then we are of course going to make our adjustment. Max plus 20, power 3 numbers, and regardless of your club level, you're going to be using Sniper 10 numbers. Even if you got Sniper 9, use Sniper 10 numbers in your app, please, because we're playing max numbers, but we are not at max distance of club. So max plus 20, power 3, like I said, subject to wind angle tweaks. Try and keep that wind below 8 miles per hour if you can, but you want to catch that nice slope down to the pin. Bounces over the rough and the sand, and we're dropping this one nicely for the hole in 1. Hole 17, again, aggressive option here. We want to try and get near to green. Just before 2.5 top spin, 2 left spin, you might need to vary it depending on the wind strength. Yellow ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and 6 at P5 max. Then we adjust max plus 10 here, max plus 10. For me, that's going to be 9.2 rings. And then some pushing up required. So we're at plus 8. I then push up to plus 13, so 5-yard push-up with APOC 4, that will be a 12-yard push-up. Plenty of curl to the left, look at the T and the alignment with the triangle. Slower needle with APOC 5 plus. APOC 4, you need to stretch out to find your position, and then of course do the increased push-up as advised. Just missing the rough there, which is what we want to do, can be tweaked if you want according to wind strength and angle, but we've got a very simple wedge for the eagle. Finally, hole 18, very nice wind angle here. We're going to go with 5.5 top spin and 3 left spin. Add spin first and have that second bounce just before it gets clipped away by the rough. P3 max with APOC 4, topper plus 10 with APOC 5 and above. So a couple of references there, yardage and second bounce once you've added spin. Then we just max plus 10, power 3, no push-up. And we're just going to go with 1 ball of curl to the left just before the circle drops for our power reference, and hit perfect. And you want to get a nice roll out here, bouncing nicely in the middle of the fairway, getting a good roll, and the drive distance here is going to be in the region of 375 to 380 yards. Second shot, we're going to add backspin and a bit of side spin. So 4.5 back, 1 right spin, and then find our position here. We want to offset the ball guide due to the tailwind angle, and I'm going to give you a zoom in so that you can pause the video and have a look. It's about 2 to 2.5 green squares before the pin. Just check the alignment as well. Look at where the tip of the ball guide is in relation to the green squares. Then we're going to use plus yards, true club distance, 10% elevation, plus 2 is, of course, 10 yards away from max, 2.5% per yard. So we're playing this 75% slider, 10% elevation, plus 4 will be 80% slider, and so on. Making our adjustment here and hitting perfect. So 10% elevation, true club distance, perfect ball away. Let's see how this one comes in. Bounces nicely away from the sand, second bounce just on the green, and it drops nicely for the albatross. Thank you for watching this video on the London Christmas Tournament here on the channel. If you've not done so already, I'd love to see you over on our Facebook group. Go over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join. Totally free to do so, well over 11,000 members there, sharing shots, loads of discussions, as well as some free guides occasionally as well. So plenty of content to get involved in over there. Looking forward to see you there, and all the best in the tournament this week. See you soon. Bye for now.